Angel did not almost forget the name of the show again. That's never happened to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Now you got me laughing. Hey everyone, and welcome to Voices from the Mausoleum. I have something really cool and special going on today. As many of you know, I am part of the Echo Cell Collective, and we do a lot of really cool projects. And something that I am doing is I am going to be kind of doing some behind the scenes interviews for a movie that is not out yet. We are going to treat it from start to finish, and I'm really excited by this project. And with that being said, the first episode into this really cool series is going to be an interview with two people behind it all. I have for you Will and Enzo Moran. Hi guys, how are you doing? And thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're very excited about this.
Awesome. So there's a few things that I definitely want us to start off with because this is kind of new for everybody involved. You guys have a new family-owned production company. I had it, PTK Studios, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So tell us about starting this company and then how it got to the new movie that is going to be coming out at some point.
Yeah. So PTK kind of started. Well, it started last year. It was born from the idea of just like I've been working in the film industry for on and off for about let's just say 10 plus years without aging myself. And you know, a lot of that was, I did a lot of AD work, but also I've done a lot of screenwriting work and a lot of that kind of stuff. And you get burnt out in an industry where you are trying to break in and people are closing the doors or not even opening the doors because you don't have the right agent or you don't know the right people, right? I think a big reason for a lot of people who, have these great scripts or are very talented don't go anywhere. It's not because they don't have the talent, it's because no one is willing to take that chance on them. And so, as someone who did have the chance and had the opportunities and seeing, you get close and then the door closes on you right before you're about to get to the finish line. I was like, it's exhausting. It's demoralizing. What if I just did it on my own and kind of made the system kind of be like, be forced to see the indie guys as the guys now. PTK was born on the idea of real independent film, not what I feel like a lot of indie films have become to an extent of just like small
lower budget everything else.
Yeah, it's like those I want to bring back the real low budget indie, not the $3 million indie that everyone's just like, here's this cool indie starring A-list actor B and A-list actor C, and also it costs $3 million, and
and it's like, I think we're forgetting what indie means, my brothers.
Yeah, there's times where people like call a movie indie, and I'm like, the movie that just won a couple Oscars is an indie film.
Yeah, and it's indie because it wasn't. Yeah, and it's indie because it wasn't released by
Paramount
or Warner Brothers, right? So it's just like
yeah.
But it's still
like there's those $1 million indie films, and then there's the indie films like $100,000 and less, and that's what I always think of when I think of indie. But then I have to remember, like, these people also are technically considered indie, even though it's a $5 million movie. But okay.
And another big thing for PTK was also the idea that the film that you work on is kind of just co-owned by everyone who works on it. What that means for us is, like, let's say this first film that we're about to talk about. Everyone involved.
We've been terrible about not even plugging the name. The film that's coming out is super scary, not clickbait. Don't watch at 3 a.m.
so this film, for everyone who's involved, both in crew and cast, aside from like their upfront fee, which like indie isn't always the highest,
or even guaranteed,
is that everyone gets an equity stake in whatever money the movie makes after it exists, so that everyone feels, one, that they are valued, because that's the most important thing about indie film, is being valued, and two, that they really are like
a part, like
part
you feel
of
an
this.
ownership
They
of
they
the
they
film.
own a part of this, right? Like
Like-
you get a port of whatever success comes from this, they're going to get, because they are part of the reason why this is successful.
Yeah.
And that's kind of our goal with PTK as a whole, with whatever we produce, and our goal is to hopefully grow this and keep producing and keep making things, will be that anybody who works on a particular project is able to reap the benefits of that project.
I mean, that was
That's
essentially
really
the mission statement of
awesome.
the whole production company, is just sort of being this like voice for an often voiceless community, and being very sort of democratic in the way that we work with this sort of select group of people that we've come to sort of trust and see as a community, to help us like tell these stories that you aren't really finding in these other places, and to do them in the ways that these other places aren't doing, and to do it with like a genuine passion for the stories that we're telling. Because like we don't like we're not getting paid to do this. Like we're doing it for pure love. Like these are the stories that we want to tell, and we want to tell them the way that we want to, without the sort of like, well, studio guy says no type. So
No,
like, we're the studio guys. We're saying hell yeah.
That makes it feel like a passion project, and like that all your love is put into it. And usually that ends up showing in the movie. So I'm excited already for it. And because of like the passion behind it, that kind of brings me into the next part, because Echo Cell Collective, founded by David, also is something that he's passionate about with horror. And I know PTK Studios and Echo Cell Collective are collaborating on the movie, which, yes, the title was Super Scary, Not Clickbait, Don't Watch at 3 a.m., which I will definitely be asking about that in a little bit. But I want to ask first about the partnership with Echo Cell Collective, and then we'll definitely get into the movie. So how did the partnership with Echo Cell Collective come about?
That was so that was born out of we knew someone who was working with the collective, with Echo Cell.
Yeah, big shout out John Joe Lyons.
And then we're just like doing this movie on our own, straight up just thinking we're just gonna do it on our own. We'll figure it out as it goes. Like, let's hope for the best. And then we just like saw this. We reached out, started speaking to David, and then David came in. We're just like, this is what we're doing. This is what we have.
And
like,
we're really excited about it.
But like, we're just like, well, we'll see what happens with it. And we're thinking at first, like, we did it, but like, I'm so used to the industry and every version of it being like, maybe we'll hear from him in like 2 months.
Yeah.
And then he reached out to us same week, potentially same day, if I remember correctly.
I genuinely want to say it was like a couple hours.
Yeah, and we just had a quick conversation about what this is, what our ideas were, and then once again we're like, okay, he'll reach out to us when he's ready.
Yeah.
Next day, he gives us a list of what the plan is, how he wants to promote this, how he wants to help create this project, and kind of help it go from the start to the finish line. And they're just like, oh, this.
He's just as excited as we are.
Like this guy is for real. Like this is a planned out situation. Like it wasn't just like, maybe we do this and this. No, David came in with like this, and we're just like, oh,
full-blown marketing strategy.
Crap. It's real now.
Absolutely.
So no, I'm very excited for this collaboration because it puts me in a position to get to do this and see a movie from start to finish, like the behind the scenes stuff. So now my favorite part, to start asking you guys some questions regarding the movie. And we're going to keep saying this so that everyone knows this title: Super Scary, Not Clickbait, Don't Watch at 3 a.m., which is going to be a found footage film with some ties into Latin American folklore, which is very exciting to me for many different reasons. One, found footage is my favorite subgenre. We do Found Footage Fridays here on Voices from the Mausoleum. So we're super stoked that this is going to be found footage. Me being a Latino myself, I'm very excited to always see when parts of my culture and people of my culture are in horror, especially in found footage film. So I would definitely like to ask a couple questions of one. The main one right now is, how did we come up with this name? And then if you guys want to also let us know why found footage and why was it important to make sure to add Latino culture and folklore into your movie.
Well, I always love getting to say I take credit for the name fully. I came up with it. It was sort of an homage to one of my favorite Japanese found footage series. It's Koji Shireishi series, Senritsu Kaiki Files. They have these like really long, outrageous titles that just read like the cheesy YouTube videos. My favorite is Senritsu Kaiki Files, Hanako-san in the toilet. Yes. And it's all about a toilet ghost. It's like the best one in the series. But I just love these like big dramatic. You can just see it. It's all typed out, all caps. There's like 300 exclamation points, like just the ghost YouTube of our childhood. And I was like, that's like the energy that we're really going for with this.
And I think what that did as well was set the tone in a way that we wanted to, and that like you read that title, the reaction we received from the title made us realize it was a good title, because there was a little bit of a short debate about whether or not we put it down to like maybe just super scary or something like that, or maybe remove like a portion of the title. But we kept realizing that every time we told someone the title, they were kind of like immediately intrigued just by the idea of just
either
like,
they're drawn in or you get a laugh out of them, but or like something.
There's always a reaction, and we noticed that the worst reaction is a question, but no one hates it. And if the worst reaction is someone has a follow-up question, then at least then people are you know interacting with what you're doing. So we realized that it's a fun title to say, it's a fun title to read, and it was very and it led to a lot of people just being like, okay, what? Tell me more.
They're either immediately familiar with the format and go, oh yes, I love it, or they're extremely curious because they've never been exposed to like that style.
It's a conversation piece.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I think the title's also a little disarming in that like it's like, oh, it's a horror movie, but the title's kind of fun and silly. And so I want people to come in with the energy of just like this could be fun and silly.
Might be a little fun.
And then if I do my job, I'm hoping to make you feel safe about the movie and then really scare the crap out of you the way a horror movie should.
That's awesome. But yeah, the title itself, like I said, conversation piece. I love the homage to Koji Shiraishi Senritsu's series, because I love that series. I'm a huge fan of it. So one, you guys got an immediate fan out of me for that shout out. So I will be hyping this movie up just for that reason alone. But yeah, so love the title. I do think it's something that's gonna grab people immediately. And then yes, it's found footage, which we talked about. And then like I said, this has a lot of Latin American folklore in it. So if you guys definitely just kind of want to talk us through that a little bit, and a little bit about what the movie is about, from what you can tell us.
Yeah, of course. So a lot of that came from like kind of witnessing the prevalence of international horror and how culture-specific horror can be. And you look at a lot of the Japanese horror films and a lot of I feel like we really got into like this kick of like Indonesia and Thai horror, and how much of that is so culturally influenced in the horror stories they're telling. And then I was just like, racking my brain.
Even just being like a cult, like I'm from the Southern American United States. He's from El Salvador. Like, you see a disparity of like the ghost stories we heard as children. Like, you know, I grow up with like Taily Poe, and he's got like the terrifying monster with a sack full of bones. It's like, it's all over the place.
But yeah, no. So I'm seeing this, and I feel like with being from not only, you know, El Salvador, but also just being Latin American, you hear all these stories, and every country has their own variation of similar stories, and then their own complete different stories. And I don't feel like we've seen them in film as much as we could have. The way other industries are pushing their stories, their folklore, their horror stories, and it's not like they're not being made, because some are being made, absolutely. But I felt like, as a very proud Latino who is as ingrained with his own culture as he is as the culture I grew up with here in the US, that I have the opportunity to bring that part of me from over here to the films that we're making. And to really just say, hey, you know, you love being scared, you want something new, or something new to you, something unique. Where we're from, that has a lot of that.
Yeah.
And that's where that inspiration came from. It's just like, there's so many stories that I want to just tell you, and then to use them as a film, and at least tell a variation of those stories, or at least one of those stories, especially in this film, is something that I wanted to go ahead and do. Open up a doorway to how scary Latin America can be when we want it to be scary.
Yeah. And we grow up on so many stories, and like you said, they are out there in film. Like, I do know that there are movies, especially like a very common Latin American folk story is La Llorona, and a lot of people know that, and we know that there are a few movies out there about her, but I also just feel like they never really captured the essence of the story, because either it was not made by Latinos with Latinos in mind, or it was a very different approach, and they just used the name to like get people to want to watch the movie. And then you're like, she's not really the focal point of this movie. So
yeah.
And I feel like that happens with so many Latino scary stories, is you get that in film, but it's the same thing where it's usually not centered. And so I'm very excited that you are bringing some of that into this movie. So like I said, the cool thing about this is that we are starting from the very beginning. So where are we currently with the movie? Because I know we did some casting calls, like you have your cast. I think I saw on Instagram you guys did a script read. So what's been going on with the start of the movie?
We are filming today's Monday, in a week.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, we started a week. So we are about to start shooting. This is kind of like the calm before the storm situation. We're just getting everything ready, making sure everything's good to go, and then get right into it.
That's great. So you got to meet the cast a little bit already. How does the rapport seem? And then what are you most excited for? And then I know we're just starting. Is there already a point that you see something like what might be your biggest challenge moving forward?
So I don't know if it's a skill or if it's luck, but we have a cast whose chemistry levels are like on point. Like, everyone gets along, everyone is in on this. Like, everyone is like, there's no concern of just like, it's just gonna work. Like,
we have just been so lucky in that every single person we've cast on this project, they seem like they're more excited about it than we are. And like, every time we get out of a meeting or we walk away from like having an engagement with the cast, or we like leave the group chat even, we're just like, like, it's like revitalizing how excited they are. It just like puts even more wind in our sails to like make this as amazing as we can.
Yeah, I would say the biggest problem we could see ourselves having, and that's like, well, biggest problem is like everyone gets along so well that it's like sometimes we just like lose focus for a second on like what we're doing because everyone is just like, just having a good time hanging. I'm just like, oh, and then I have to be like, oh, director.
Wait, I'm the director.
Then everybody get into positions. Let's go. We got to do this. We got to do this. So I mean, like our table read was basically
chronically diagnosed yappers.
Yeah, our table read really was like an initial 45 minutes of everyone just
like talking.
I had to look at the clock and be like, whoa, okay, bring it back. Let's table read. We do the table read, and after it's another hour of everyone just hanging out and having a good time. It's just like this is great.
Yeah.
This is.
Well, like you said, if that's the biggest problem that you're facing right now, like I'm so excited for you all. Again, like this movie has so much boxes checked for me personally, but also for like the people that watch our show here at Voices, because we do a lot of found footage. So this is definitely going to be the right audience for your movie. So I'm very excited that we have you on so early on. And like I said, everyone, I am going to do as much as I can to cover this movie. So totally excited for this. And then if there's anything else like regarding super scary, not clickbait, don't watch at 3 a.m. that you guys kind of want to just talk about and let people know like what to look out for, like give people a reason to be even more excited than they're probably going to be already.
Yeah, I mean, we have our Instagram, it's PTK Studios, which you can follow kind of the making of. Don't worry, you won't have any spoilers there, but you will have hopefully the anticipation. So,
and with that, you can see a little bit, get to know our cast a little bit better, get excited about their what's going on with them, as well as we're going to be adding in behind the scenes looks at production of our props, our costumes, the SFX we're going to be working with. It's all going to be practical, and I'm so excited.
And that's the big things also for like the horror fans to see is, people who really are big on practical effects, creature designs, that kind of stuff, like without giving spoilers.
Yeah.
We're talking about, Latino America, right? We have our monsters. We have this. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you what it looks like. But if you're into the SFX, the creature designs, this is going to be for you.
Yeah.
Like this is.
If you are, how I describe myself, a horror movie stickler, especially for found footage of, okay, where did that camera angle come from? Okay, well, why are they still filming right now? Where is the music? If you're a person who watches found footage like this, then this is going to be the movie for you, because I'm a person like this and I'm making this movie.
That's so awesome to hear. Because me and my partner Angel, we do found footage Fridays, we're like that as well. We're like we'll still enjoy the movie, but we're like, but
when did we get a second camera though?
Yeah. So no, that makes me even more excited. And again, you guys let people know to follow the studio IG page. I know there is also a page for the movie as well. And I'll have this information linked in the captions so when we release this, so everybody can click and go to the Instagram and follow both pages. But what I do like that you said was you will be doing like behind the scenes stuff, putting cast things out there, really kind of letting people enjoy this journey of filmmaking alongside you guys while you're doing the actual filmmaking. And I just need to ask, because I think that's a really cool thing. I haven't seen that before. It could have been done, but I don't see that done often. Why was that important to you both, to make sure that people go along this journey with you?
I can let you speak first. I know what my reasoning.
as a whole, for especially PTK was, we want to create like I said, aside from the mission statement of just artists first and all that stuff, when it comes to the audience, a sense of I want to build a community there too. You're seeing something be built, something be made. You are a part of that now. So when you are seeing the behind the scenes and you're like, oh, what are they doing? Oh, this looks exciting. The goal is to get you guys excited for something so that when you see the final product, all that effort that you put into following us and you see the work we've done, hopefully we've done a good enough job to make you go, that was all worth it. I've been so excited.
We built the anticipation.
I've been so excited to see this, and now I get to see it, and you guys delivered, and that creates now an audience with us, not for us, but with us, that makes us go, okay, great. Now we have this next thing that we're excited to create with you guys and build with you guys, because
like we see what they're capable of doing we saw how they did it, and this is what they came up with. Holy crow, these guys are good.
And hopefully with the behind the scenes also, we kind of do what I really hope we do, which is just like inspire people to just go, hell yeah, they did it, and sometimes they did it with just, like
$37 in a dream.
Exactly. They had some duct tape and they found something on the side of the road and built something with it. Also, I can do that, because ultimately that's what we're here for. Do I want to make a living making movies? 100%. That's the dream. Do I care to make millions and millions of dollars? I just need to be able to pay my rent and my groceries and my bills and do this for the rest of my life. And that's a good life for me.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to give that opportunity to people to go, hey, that's what I want to. And I just want to create for the love of the game.
And then be proud of what we're doing at the end of it all.
Yeah.
And I think also it was really important for us to include this sort of like behind the scenes material. And at least for me, and we grew up in that sort of golden age of like physical media, of like, I remember DVD players coming out and like going to the Kmart and getting a DVD player. It was like, it was the coolest thing. But that was the thing about DVDs. They all had the special features disc. You got to hear like directors and the actors talk about it. You got to learn. And I think that's what, as a child, like put so much of a love and a passion for like the meat and potatoes of how films are made, and that like you got to feel like a part of it. So you had this sort of deeper connection to the film of like, yes, I love the story, I love the way it looks, but like now I know how they did that. I feel like I have this inside connection to it. I'm now more passionate about film. I'm curious. Maybe I want to make film. Maybe I want to learn more about film. Maybe I'm now curious it's just the curiosity. And I feel like in losing that sort of physical aspect of media, like, it's accessible, it's everywhere, it's in your pocket, but like you lose that like connection physically and emotionally. And I think that's like a really important part of the experience of film to me. And I really want to create something like that.
I absolutely love that answer, and I agree with you both. But particularly because same thing, I grew up on I don't know if you remember MTV making a video. So they would go behind the scenes, and before when music videos were a thing, and once they would show you like the whole episode of how it was made, and then they would debut the video, and you just felt like kind of cool because you're like, well, I know how it was made. You feel more attached to that video, and I do think that this is what you guys are also doing, because it's getting to know that I am at the beginning of this journey with you. I'm going to be watching this on your pages, like looking behind the scenes, looking at all the B-roll and everything that you guys decide to put out to us. It makes me that much more excited for the movie already, and I don't even know that much about it, but I'm like, I'm going to be on this journey, so I and whoever else is part of this, we're going to feel a part of the movie because we went on the journey with you. So I think it's a really cool experience. Like I said, I haven't seen it done much before. You both seem like the best people to do this. Like, I'm so excited to be on this journey with you guys because you both seem so awesome. Yes. But yeah, if one last thing, if you want to just let people know where to follow you again, and then we'll make sure to have all the socials linked in the captions below. And then if there's anything else that you can kind of like let people know what to look out for, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So on Instagram, you can follow us at it's PTK_Studios, or for the film specifically is super scary _ not clickbait film. Enormous.
That one's always going to be a long time.
It's always just a giant block. But yeah, keep an eye out on both of those. We also post on TikTok as well. I believe it's just PTK Studios on TikTok as well. And we're going to be hitting both of those. with a lot of behind the scenes, with interviews with our cast, with just some little fun peeks here and there, just the process of what filming indie horror looks like.
Yeah. And, you know, as a whole, especially with PTK Studios, both the TikTok and the Instagram page, I mean, you're going to follow us making Super Scary, but we hope that you stay on board to see just kind of everything that PTK Studios is, will be, is trying to be, and kind of grow with us and see, you know, what else comes out of what we're doing.
Yeah. And we're like super excited. We're like so even jazzed to have been here today.
I am so happy that you guys got to join me in doing this. Thank you so much for taking your time out to be a part of this, to let me be a part of this as well.
Yeah.
And viewers, yeah, make sure you follow the socials, because this does sound like the coolest experience, and especially for us millennials, because I know there's a lot of millennials that follow Voices. If you miss, like we were talking about, the behind the scenes stuff, the making a video experience, that's what this is going to be like. So please follow their socials. And we cannot wait till this movie is done so we can check it out. But I'm so excited for the journey that you guys are on, and I'm even more excited that we get to be on it with you. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you have a great day, and we will be doing more stuff like this for this movie, which again is super scary, not clickbait. Don't watch at 3 a.m. And so enjoy and have a great one.